guys, welcome back to Changing the Game with Emmanuel Game Changer. So good to have you guys back. Thank you guys so much for the support you gave on my first video, for those who shared it, for those who actually watched it and actually learned something from it. I'm really happy about that, and yeah, we keep it moving. Do not forget to subscribe. Please don't. We're gonna have a lot of fun, so just keep in tune, stay locked. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. So today we're gonna look at the second part of the first topic that I was looking at last time, which was the power of choice. Yes and no. Just a brief recap. Yes is an affirmative response. Yes, I will do this. Yes, I will go there. Yes, that's right. And you have no, which is given in a negative response. No, I won't do that. No, I won't go there. No, sorry, can't do that. No, can do. Yeah. But yeah, and yeah, basically, we were just looking at how when you say yes and no to something on a day-to-day basis, it can affect your days. You can say yes to something and it can be of benefit to you. You can say no to something and it won't be of benefit to you. So you need to be careful of what you say yes to and no to on a day-to-day basis. This week, I'm going to look at when you say yes or no to something that can affect you in the long run. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't look at. Just like on a day-to-day basis, a lot of people overlook it. A lot of people overlook it in the long run. So I'm just going to give a few examples and then wrap it up and then we call it a day. Is that cool? Cool. First example, I would say a student, okay? So it's exam times. And it's time for you to study, it's time for you to revise, it's time for you to go over your notes and to look at what you've done and say, okay, is this right, is this wrong, what can I do? How can I get the best grades in my exams? Now, a lot of students, studious students, you know, who use their time wisely and effectively and study and revise when they need to, however long they need to, and get the work done. But there's some students who actually don't do that. And when it's time to revise, when it's time to study, a friend calls them and says, yeah, it's time to go out. Let's go out to Nando's, or yeah, let's play FIFA, or let's watch videos on YouTube, or let's go out shopping. And then the student goes, yeah, why not? Don't worry about revising. I'll do a late night shift later. And so when later comes, you don't want to do it anymore, a lot of the time anyway, because you're so demotivated to do it. I know there's some of you who actually, you know, like putting yourself under that pressure and you end up doing it the hard way, but you don't need to. But the point is that you get easily distracted. You go to the library, you meet so many of your friends, you're talking, you've got your phone there, you're on social media, you get distracted. Then you're getting problems. When the exam comes and you're looking at the exam and you're thinking, uh-oh, what's going on there? I don't know how to answer this question. I don't know how to solve this question. And then you're in problems. And so in that moment there, you had a choice. Yes, no. Do I actually go for it? Do I spend time, you know, on social media, wasting my time, or do I waste my time, you know, going out shopping when I need to revise, when I could actually go shopping after exams, when I could go shopping, you know, at a later time or at a better time? I don't need to do it now, but you know, the choice is in your hands. So it's a yes and no situation. And at the end of the day, you don't benefit from it. I know the odd amount, you know, can still end up passing the exams without revising and, you know, without studying, but not everyone's like that. And so many of us regret it because we don't get the best grades. And some of us, we learn the hard way and we fail. And that hurts us in the long run, because if we fail, we might have to repeat a module, or we might have to do a retake, or we might have to, you know, do the whole year again, or we might get kicked off our course, depending on what the situation is. And so this is where we really need to be careful and think about our actions. Another example, you know, for those, you know, who want to buy something more expensive and you go and take out a loan, and you don't necessarily have the money in your account, and you don't know how you're going to get the money back to pay off, you know, the loan company or the bank or whatever, and you've just gone out to take a loan to go and buy, you know, whatever you want to buy. Let's say, for example, a Rolex. I don't know, that's just came to mind. But yeah, you go and buy Rolex. But you don't know how you're going to get that money back in the future. You don't know how you're going to pay it back. And so there you've got yourself in a big palaver. I feel that that's a really African word, but anyway, don't worry about that. You get yourself into trouble, and just for the sake of living lavishly for that moment, or you get drawn in. Christmas is around the corner, so a lot of people get sucked into getting credit cards, getting loans just to buy people presents, and some people do it to show off. Some people have genuine hearts, but that's another topic. You don't need to get sucked in to buying people gifts. It's a great time to give gifts, but, I'm sure people won't mind if you don't give them gifts now. There will be a better time. There's a better opportunity. But that's just a side note. But yeah, so many people get sucked into taking credit cards and loans and borrowing money, and you don't really know how you're going to get that money back. And so in that moment, you've said yes to something that's not going to be of benefit to you in the long run, because you're going to be in debt. And some people, they get in so much debt, they have to borrow from a loan company, and they borrow from another loan company to pay the other loan company. And then it just becomes a big old mess. Or some people that borrow from others, you can't pay the person back. The person's chasing you up. The person might be your friend or someone close to you. And the person is getting really upset because it's just like, you've got my money and I want it back. So you're going to need to give it. And you're there thinking, I don't know how I'm going to give you the money back. Work's not really giving me a lot, or I'm not making much at work, or I've got bills to pay, I owe other people. And you get yourself in so much trouble there. Why? Do you need to? No, you don't. But you've gone to do it, and it affects you in the long run. How does this affect you? It can affect your credit rating. If you borrow from banks, or if you get a loan or something else, if you borrow from people, it can affect relationships. It can mess them up. So it can beat you up in the long run. Whereas you could stick to your means, buy whatever you can afford, and when the time is right, when you do have the money to buy things that you want to get, then you can get them. But for now, stay humble. Another example, people that get themselves into trouble with the law. I know a lot of people who have got in trouble with the law. They didn't want to, but they ended up getting connected with the wrong people, or doing the wrong things, or they felt pressured to do something. Maybe it was peer pressure, and they ended up doing something that they shouldn't have had to do. And so what have they done? They said yes to something that's not going to help them in the long run. Now, sometimes they would have looked at other people and thought, you know what, well, this person does this and this person does that, and they don't get in trouble, so I guess I can do it, or I'm only going to do it just this once, and after that, I'm not going to do it again. And a lot of the times when that happens, it's only going to be your first and your only time, and you get in trouble with the law, you get in trouble with the police, you go into prison. That affects you. How? You get a criminal record. How? You have to spend time in prison, and you have to learn the hard way. And you meet other people in there who have committed crimes, willingly, and some, by mistake. Some were guilty by association. Some don't want to be there. Some wanted to be there because that was the lifestyle that they chose. But you, in that moment, said yes to the wrong lifestyle. You said yes to something that you knew was wrong, but you decided to go along. You decided to heed that call and go along with it. You got yourself in trouble. That benefits you. That doesn't benefit you in the long run, because at the end of the day, you've got a criminal record now. And now when you want to apply for jobs and, you want to do certain things, that require legal applications or whatever, you've got a problem, because now you've got a criminal conviction which can affect you. And it's definitely affected you, because I know a lot of people who have been affected by their criminal records. So in essence, what I'm saying is these things can benefit you in the long run. One more that relates to to a lot of people is diet, eating, gym life, that kind of stuff. Now, yeah, that's a big problem. Discipline, I guess that goes under discipline, but this scenario in particular is all about how you look after your body. Now, you know that you want to get your Miami body figure, and you really want to look nice, or for the guys, you want to get that six pack. You know, you want to really look hench, you want to look defined, chiseled, all of that. And you know what it requires of you. You know there's a discipline. You know you have to train hard. You know you have to eat very well. Now, a lot of people want to have the nice body, but they don't want to eat well, or they don't want to train well. And so in the process of doing that, as long as you continue to binge eat, as long as you continue to eat wrong, you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble. Why? Because you're going to gain weight. Some of you that actually don't gain weight, you guys are amazing, man. I don't know how you do it, but you guys are amazing. Many of us who, when we eat a lot or we eat the wrong things and we put on weight, it's hard for us because now we're making a job in the gym harder for us because we have to work even harder to lose the weight that we don't need. You know, the extra, yeah. So, so it requires a discipline. And there's some people who just, you know what, get used to the lifestyle of eating and eating and eating. Then it affects you in the long run because then you get demotivated. You don't want to go to the gym anymore. You become less disciplined with your eating, less disciplined with your lifestyle. And then you get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then before you know it, you get yourself in a lot of trouble. Some of us, we go through situations and hard situations of life. And some people turn to food. And some people turn to junk food. And then they eat and they eat and they eat and they eat. And they don't realize that they're getting bigger, even though that's the reality, but they're getting bigger. They're getting a lot bigger. Or some of us get into relationships and we start eating and we get comfortable. That's actually I've actually seen that a lot over the years. The point is, you're saying yes to something that will make life harder in the future, especially when you want to lose the weight, when you want to go back to the gym. You're gonna have to work extra harder. But yeah, it's just a choice that we have to make. These are the choices that we make that can affect us or benefit us in the long run. If we stay disciplined, then yeah, it helps us in the long run. But if we don't, the ball's in our court. So guys, remember, the power of choice is in your hands. Yes and no. What are you gonna choose? Remember to subscribe. Take care.